I think I can stand. One other aspect of my introduction, I'm the person that is the last standing between you and your lunch. Anyway, you're really a wonderful audience. Dr. M, once again, congratulations on a brilliant program and a brilliant vision. And your opening presentation that you gave from the chair was, as usual, extremely perceptive and visionary in analyzing our current reality. And then you were complimented beautifully by the High Commissioner, who, as we sat together, we wondered, how can this man, without a note, go through this speech? So we've really been feasted on rich and profound and important content. And I'm grateful that you asked us to speak about the proposal for the One Belt, One Road, sometimes called OBOR, the Belt and Road Initiative. I heard they're changing the terminology a little bit because One Belt, One Road sounds a little bit imperial in nature. So it needs to be broadened and expanded. But I think this concept of a road, or the Silk Road, as Speaker Devanisia mentioned, is very, very important throughout all civilization. We need roads and pathways for a variety of reasons. It's also interesting that in the world of spirituality and religion, the concept of the way or the path or the road is a common metaphor for the life of reaching higher truth and higher realization. And I think these two are very much interlinked. The ideal of infrastructure and the material reality of creating a road, but also of humanity being on the road to its higher realization and awareness. As was mentioned, I'm the chairman of Universal Peace Federation. It was founded by, as was mentioned by previous speakers, Reverend Sun Myung Moon, who has passed away. He founded it together with Dr. Hak Jahan Moon, his beloved wife, who carries the vision forward. We came to India in 2005, and he spoke about this international highway at that time and called India, the United States, Europe, Russia, China to work together to realize this goal of the international highway. Dr. M has told me of the time in the year 2000 in New York, at the time of the General Assembly. This was the Millennium General Assembly, where they mapped out the Millennium Development Goals. But running concurrently with the opening of the General Assembly was a convocation of spiritual leaders from all backgrounds and visionaries. And Dr. M was among them, and Dr. Moon was among them. Even people like Ted Turner. And Dr. M talked about his vision of building global unity through the telecommunications vision that he had at that time. This is 17 years ago. And Ted Turner about a global news and information company. And Dr. Moon talked about this vision of the international highway. And what is interesting about Dr. Moon's vision is that he also, very much saw this vision linked to the role of religions, and that not just governments should be involved, and not only civil society, but actually the great religions of the world, Confucianism and Hinduism and Buddhism, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Jainism, etc., should be actively promoting it. Because one of the key issues, even about the One Belt, One Road, is there's always this apprehension that there's some agenda here, that potentially there might be, based on human history, let's say, there might be a more, in addition to the sheer altruism and visionary nature, there could be a geopolitical agenda behind it that some may have concerns about. And this is not just an illusory, foolish concern, but if we look at history, we see that we have faced challenges throughout history. So I think this vision of bringing in civil society and NGOs like Global Citizens Forum or Universal Peace Federation, but also bringing in the religions. I don't know if the camera can do a close-up of this, but this is kind of, can you come even a little bit closer? That's it, okay. But you get the point. This map was presented by Dr. Moon in 1981 in Korea at the International Conference on the Unity of the Sciences. And this was a gathering that he convened every year to bring together Nobel Prize winners in the hard sciences of physics and chemistry and biology, as well as in, of course, life sciences and social sciences, and articulated this vision of building one road, one highway that would bring humanity all together. And at that time, in the still the Cold War is going on in 1981. It's still very intense. A central piece of his proposal was to build this highway to connect not only the old Silk Road, but the old Ice Age land bridge between Asia and the Americas over the Bering Strait. So if you could do another, this is the Bering Strait, and and that's Siberia and Alaska. And in between there are two small islands, the Little Diomede and Big Diomede, that the explorer Bering named. But they've done the research and technology about building a bridge and tunnel system under the Bering Strait that would really bridge these two continents. The other area that's being worked on, and in fact some building has already taken place, this is one more, is between Japan and Korea in the southern island of Kyushu, connecting to Busan in the southern part of Korea. And they've already begun drilling in the early stages of connecting these two countries in that case, or in the case of Alaska or Siberia and Alaska, the two continents, and really two, to some extent, conflicting or potentially enemy countries. So it becomes an infrastructure project that could theoretically work for peace and build a bridge of cooperation and harmony that transcends these differences. And that's what lies behind the vision of UPF. We are carrying forward this vision of the International Peace Highway. We have a smaller program that we call the Peace Road Initiative, and that's where many people, particularly the youth, ride bicycles along this global international peace highway to promote it and to share the vision for it. We have had various consultations. We have discussed the technology. For example, this highway that's envisioned by Dr. Moon would be a 1 mile wide span throughout the world. It would be kind of a multimodal system of highway that would have railway and automobile transfer, as well as a kind of power grid for energy passage. Then on each side would be this peace zone that would allow commercial development in that, but throughout this whole peace highway, military usages would be absolutely prohibited. No military equipment could be transferred on this international peace highway. So it would create a universal peace zone. Also, it should be administered by an international body, whether that's the United Nations, but should not be dominated by any one nation or one powerful nation or by the financial capacities of one nation. So a lot of thought and effort is going into this. You have to think, for example, at the Bering Strait, there are different metrics to the railway systems in Russia and the railway systems in North America. So you can't have a railway system going, then how does it transfer to this new kind of system? So a lot of thought and international cooperation would have to be at play here. So I think this is one piece of it, and this discussion about this One Belt, One Road. There are others who have come up with proposals even preceding the one of Mr. Xi Jinping, and I think we should put our heads together and have ongoing consultations and discussions and bring in the scientists and the experts on development of infrastructure and tunnels. They've developed the channel between England and France. They've developed a tunnel that connects Hokkaido, the northernmost island of Japan, to the main Honshu island of Japan, and around the Bosphorus Sea. They're creating an undersea tunnel. Technology is developing. This Elon Musk, of a great entrepreneur, is developing drilling technology as well as space technology, but wants to build a tunnel that would go under Los Angeles to deal with all the traffic problems of Los Angeles. And the technology is improving exponentially all the time for drilling systems. So it's an exciting effort that's not only technological and political or geopolitical, surely not, but really that the spiritual vision should guide this. And I really like the concluding points of the High Commissioner, where he said, India's great gift to the world is its values. And that's why it's welcomed everywhere. That's why the people of America feel such a close bond and appreciation for India, and why we value the alliance with India so much. We are in some ways different religious civilizations, but there's a strong bond of the sense of the importance of these ethical, moral, and spiritual values. So I think that must also guide the ideal of One Belt, One Road, or the international peace highway system. Thank you for your great patience.